Every job is important in Denver Water, and be proud of that.
It costs us $305 million a year, and yet the cost to our customers is $1.10 a day. I think Denver Water is providing its customers with a tremendous value.
East slope, west slope issues have been around since Colorado was, and we're trying to develop overall a different working relationship.
You know, the information technology or IT acronym should really be focused on the I. It's really all about information.
The planning division's on it.
I want to welcome all Denver Water employees to this video about the state of Denver Water. You may be asking yourself, why should you have to watch this video? And the reason that we hope you will watch it is we'll tell you something about Denver Water that you probably don't already know. Most of you know a lot about your own section, your own division, but you may not know everything about all the other sections of the department. And because we depend upon you as our employees to be our ambassadors to the public, the more you know, the more effective you will be. Some of the highlights of 2008 were the completion of major improvements at the Foothills Treatment Plant to comply with the new federal rules on disinfection byproducts. We've built a brand new pump station in Montclair that will serve recycled water to the east part of Denver. We've made major advances in our customer information system, which we will go live on sometime in the middle of 2009. And we've made improvements to the distribution system by upgrading our pipe and our vaults and some of those kinds of facilities. The economic crisis gripping this country is a very serious condition. It probably does not affect us directly in that project much of a decline in our revenues from the sale of water, maybe 5%. But it does affect everybody's perception of the economy and what they can spend. And Denver Water has to be very sensitive to the concerns and needs of our customers. I know many of you already are grateful for the jobs that you have. We're doing good public work, we're doing important stuff, and we work in a pretty stable environment. And we need to appreciate that. We are very lucky to have the job, to work in the city that we work in, and to have the kind of economic security that we have.
The main project for Public Affairs in 2009 is getting the new CIS up and running. This is a huge project that we're doing with us. It involves many employees here at Denver Water, and customers should be able to see the immediate results. They'll see bills coming on a monthly basis. They'll see more information on each bill because we'll have the ability to give them more information about how they're using water, and they'll have more ways in which they can ask questions. Conservation goals are to institute some new programs. Actually, we're going to try some new things to see if we can reach a new set of customers to help them save water. We're looking at customers that use a lot of water in the wintertime and seeing if we can go into their houses and see if they're using a lot of, maybe because they have leaks or because they have old toilets, and see if we can interest them in participating in programs. We're going to have more people on the street this summer. We call them monitors, but they won't be giving out tickets every day. What we really want them to do is stop and talk to customers about their water, answer any questions, see if there's anything we can do to help educate customers. Conservation is important to Denver Water because there's 3 ways we can get more water for the future. One is the recycle plant, and that's online now. It's going to be expanded again in the future. And the second way, getting more water on the north end. The board's looking at expansion of the Moffett system, probably a raise of Gross Reservoir. The third way is conservation, and conservation is the only one that people can participate in. They can't do much to help those other 2 programs, but conservation is something everybody can do.
The goals for planning in 2009 are 3 major goals. One is to bring to conclusion the Moffett Collection System project regulatory process. The second is to eventually push forward the integrated resource plan. And third is to finish up our mediation with the West Slope entities related to our water supply. Well, the Moffett Collection System project is the biggest water supply project that we're working on right now. And in essence, what is an enlargement of our existing gross reservoir. And it would be an enlargement from 41,000 acre feet up an additional 72,000 acre feet. So that allows us to get more water supply off the north end of our system and serve our Moffett treatment plant is water short at the present time. So that process is going through a federal regulatory process. We've been in this for 7 years now. We're expecting the draft environmental impact statement to be issued by the Corps of Engineers later this year. And with a little bit of luck, then the Corps will issue a decision and permits necessary for the construction of gross enlargement. As I understand it from the engineering division, it'll probably take about 2 years to design. So that would put us sometime around 2013 to start construction, maybe 2014. Our goal is operational by 2016. That's when we've identified when the need materializes. Since we're in planning, we've planned for the future, and the future is unknown. However, what we're trying to do is we're trying to look at multiple futures and look at how we could plan for multiple futures and see if there's some common ground in the early years that we could implement that would work no matter which future path we were on. And then if we can do that, we can start to move in a direction that would work across a lot of different futures.
We have some very exciting and highly technical capital projects going on in 2009. Some of the large ones are 2 dam projects, the Williams Fork Outlet Works project and the Cheeseman Outlet Works project. We're also working on Con 4 and then some ongoing programs. The Williams Fork project is our largest capital project. We're currently designing the project, getting state approval, and we'll start constructing in the second half of 2009. Williams Fork was built in the 1930s and in the 1950s. This is the first major capital project since the 1950s at Williams Fork. On Cheeseman Dam, this is a very technical project. We're installing 3 large gates and their associated trash racks underwater with divers. Dam is in operation. Conduit 94, as we all remember, is the 66-inch pipe that burst underneath I-25. We've looked at the pipe and assessed any potential damage, and there's 2,500 feet from the east of I-25 that we want to we're currently designing the pipe and we'll install it in late 2009. Based on board direction, engineering is moving forward with a series of projects that we're expediting or moving forward from future year budgets. The largest project we're working on is a $15 million Marston Filter Plant 2 rehabilitation program. That project will provide a lot of local stimulus. Another project that we pulled off the shelf, ready to go for bidding soon, is the $1 million recycling pipeline. And that's just a continuation of a recycle system. The engineering division is a great team to be part of. At any one time, we have over 200 projects going, and the projects range from anywhere from a dam safety project to a corrosion project to a building project. And the key thing for us is everyone understands that if we build it, we own it. We're going to have it for well over 100 years. We're not going anywhere, and this is a very exciting team.
Water infrastructure across the country and across the world is aging, and I think we all know that. The one thing that we're fortunate with here in Denver is at least our city is relatively new. It's not as old as New York or Philadelphia, but needless to say, we still have parts of our system that are over 100 years old. I think that the state of our plants and our pumping stations, the things that you can see very easily, are in pretty good shape, and we've done a good job maintaining those. However, I think we do need to spend a little bit of extra money and time maintaining the buried infrastructure, the pipe, the conduits, and the things that you can't see every day, because those are the things that's very hard to assess, and then when they fail pretty catastrophically, as we saw last year with Conduit 94. One of the things that we're doing involves trying to standardize our operating procedures and trying to document those a little bit better, so that as we do have folks that retire from here that are incredibly knowledgeable about how our system works, that we can transfer that knowledge on to the next generation that's coming to work here. One of the ways that we're doing that and helping to put more information into the hands of the people in the field is through mobile workforce automation, which is a project, it was an actual project that was a joint venture between O&M and IT. And what it does is it puts GIS and automated dispatch and vehicle locating and field origination of work orders into the hands of employees. Ways that this will help is if our emergency services department gets a main break called in, they'll be able to look at the computer, find out who's closest, and dispatch that person to the break right away. In days past, they would have had to get on the radio and start calling around and asking who's close to this main break. And in this day and age, 5 minutes can make a big difference when you're responding to a main break.
2009 is a big year for us. Our major project for 2009 is our new customer information and billing system, planned to go live in July. In addition to that, we're doing a number of other major things as well. We have a new timekeeping system underway. That one's targeted to go live in the second quarter. We have many initiatives related to what I generally call enterprise asset management. It's a collection of systems or projects to improve the way we manage our assets. Regarding the new CIS system, from a technology point of view, it's where we need to be. Our current CIS system serves us well and has for many years, but it's a bit of a dinosaur. Some of the hardware that it runs on isn't even made any longer. The employees who touch the new CIS will see a totally different interface. It won't be the old green screen interface with characters in block mode. It'll be a web-based interface, very appealing, very easy to use, easy. What they will find is that it benefits them in terms of accessing information, answering customers' questions, and initiating transactions. So overall, it's just a far better, more flexible tool to serve our customers better and our internal processes, make them more efficient essentially. Denver Water today relies on information technology to support hundreds of activities. There are literally dozens of applications, many applications supporting many activities. And those activities range from everything involving the way we manage our staff, from a human resources, payroll perspective, to the way we manage our assets, from an operational work management process perspective, from a geographic information system perspective, to the way bills, to the way we buy things. Just about every function at Denver Water has some piece of technology, and if it doesn't, it's coming soon.
Everything about the raw water system is controlled by water rights. The thing about water rights that people from other parts of the country can never understand is that in Colorado it is not possible to use the water other than leaving it in the stream. You can't use water unless you have a judgment from a court that says you can water. It's called a decree. And a water rights decree says where you can take the water from, the point of diversion, how much you can take, where you can use it, and what you can use it for. The West Slope mediation relates very directly to water rights because one of our major water rights is the Blue River Decree. The Blue River Decree controls Dillon and Roberts Tunnel. It's 30% of our supply. It was drafted in 1955 as a negotiation, and it has some vulnerabilities in it, some things that we've been fighting with the West Slope about for 50 years or so. The West Slope wants to limit the amount of water we remove. We want to secure our Blue River supply from those fights. It's our job to protect employees, to protect Denver Water, and to make sure that everybody can do their job to the best of their ability.
In 2009, Denver Water is facing a cost budget of about $305 million. And the way we pay for that is through various sources of revenue. The primary source, about 80% of our revenue, comes from the sale of water. And then after that, we look to system development charge fee, which are tap fees, participation agreements, interest on our investment balances, and the ability to issue debt to pay for that $305 million. This year, the Board of Water Commissioners to make sure that the amount of money that we're expecting to come in the door through those sources is equal to the amount of money that will go out of the door. So we have a completely balanced budget. So one of the challenges that our board has had to face this year is that we've had to look at our budget and we've had to reduce our budget. Not only are we planning for our vulnerabilities on the revenue side, but we're also planning for how we can manage those vulnerabilities through reducing our costs. And as many of our employees know, the division directors have had to analyze their budgets and reduce that we feel we can reduce. Ultimately, where we have landed is that we have reduced certain operation and maintenance costs, such as conferences and professional services, and we are trying to reallocate those dollars to capital in the hopes that those capital projects will help to spur on the economy and act as a stimulus for our local economy, keeping our vendors employed, keeping our construction workers employed, because Denver Water, while we think of our force as simply the people who work here, it's actually greater than that.
In 2009, I think HR has got a lot of emphasis on workforce planning because there is a turnover in the workforce, go down because of the economy. But we know that once things turn around, we expect it to speed up. And so about 65% of our workforce are boomers right now. And so they're eligible, a lot of them are eligible to either outright retiring or under some of our early retirement rules. They're eligible to go. And if everyone walked out that could walk out, we'd be in trouble. And nowadays you hear a lot of talk about generational turnover, and what we're talking about is, where is the knowledge going to come from? We have people who've worked here 40, 45 years, and so when they leave, the knowledge that they have in their heads leave. So it's all about knowledge management, making sure that what they know is codified, it's in the system somewhere. I'm co-chair with David LaFrance on the Retirement Program Committee, and we've just completed a study of the retirement plan, the retirement program, which includes your defined benefit plan, your defined contribution plan, and Social Security are it's a three-legged stool that you're building your retirement on. And in the immediate future, we're not recommending any changes. We can't predict what the board may or may not do, but I think that can continue to see an excellent benefit offered through Denver Water in the defined benefit and a defined contribution plan in such a combination, because those are things that bring people here. What does Denver Water look like now? It will be very different in about 5 or 10 years. In the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a big change in the age and in the generations that are represented here.
I'm Penfield Tate, President of the Board of Commissioners of Denver Water. 2009 is going to be a very challenging and interesting year for all of us here at Denver Water. Our key challenge is going to be continuing to provide the excellent level of service that all of our employees provide in an environment where our customers are going to be watching us even more closely than they have in the past. While doing that, we also need to prepare Denver Water and the city and the region for the future. We cannot abandon our mission to provide safe sanitary water at the lowest possible price. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you as Denver Water employees and our directors for the wonderful service you've provided and for your commitment to Denver Water and to the ratepayers of this region. Thanks to directors for participating in this video, and thanks to all of you for watching, and continue your wonderful service on behalf of Denver Water.
2009 is going to be a huge year for public affairs, for customer service field, and for customer care especially.
We should know that we have a product that people need to buy in good times and in bad times.
That if we build it, we own it. We're going to have it for well over 100 years. We're not going anywhere.
Doesn't matter if you're in IT or public affairs or fund or HR, our ultimate goal is to provide that safe supply of reliable water. So tell us, Brian, in all your time here in the last 4 years as a water department, how have you done? Am I right? Paul Day likes to come out around corners.
I'm sweating.
We can edit that part out.
The goals of 2009 are to win the Colfax Marathon.
My mascara's running. The IT acronym, I think, should really be focused on the T. Let me backtrack on that. On the I.
I gotta suck in that gut.
Oh, good point.